We're following breaking news right now near Austin, Texas. Police there are giving an update about the death of a suspect in a series of bombings. Let's listen in.
Much time had passed and the vehicle started to drive away. We began following the vehicle, again waiting to get the tactical vehicles here so we could take this, make a stop. However, the vehicle ended up stopping in the bar ditch on the side of the road behind us. As members of the Austin Police Department SWAT team approached the vehicle, the suspect detonated a bomb inside the vehicle, knocking one of our SWAT officers back, and one of our SWAT officers fired at the suspect as well. The suspect is deceased and has significant injuries from a blast that occurred from detonating a bomb inside his vehicle. We cannot name the suspect at this time because he has not been positively identified yet by the medical examiner, and next of kin have not yet been notified. So there will be a lengthy investigation that will take place regarding the officer-involved shooting. The investigation will be conducted by the Austin Police Department's Internal Affairs Unit, with the Austin Police Monitor participating as well for a review of compliance with departmental policy. There will be a concurrent criminal investigation that will take place by the Texas Rangers of the incident that occurred here tonight. Again, this is the culmination of 3 very long weeks for our community. And throughout these weeks, we've talked about the importance of remaining vigilant and looking out for each other. I want to continue that message as we stand here this morning, though, because we don't know where this suspect has spent his last 24 hours, and therefore we still need to remain vigilant to ensure that no other packages or devices have been left through the community. So as we go through the day today, we want the community to remain vigilant, but I also want to look at where we are now in Round Rock and remind our neighboring communities of Round Rock and Cedar Park and the other cities that we do not know where he has been in the past 24 hours, and we need your communities to remain vigilant as well. And again, if you see something that looks suspicious, if you see something that's out of place, if you see something that gives you concern, call 911 and let us know so that we don't experience any more tragedies in our communities, because we've had far too many over the past 3 weeks. I again want to thank the tremendous support and participation that we have had from our federal partners. And since this is still an ongoing investigation, we're not going to release a lot of the specific details that led to the incidents that occurred tonight. We did have one officer who was injured when that bomb detonated as he approached the vehicle, suffering minor injuries. And then we had one officer, as I mentioned earlier, that fired his weapon at the suspect. That officer has been with the Austin Police Department for 11 years, and again is a member of our SWAT team. As is our standard practice, he will be placed on administrative duty while we conduct the necessary investigations into what happened here. I'm now going to turn it over for comments to Special Agent Maliski of the ATF.
Thank you. The unprecedented level of cooperation and partnership from the law enforcement agencies at the local, state, and federal level allowed each of our agencies to bring a skill set, different skill set to bear and identify this subject. And fortunately tonight we're able to bring this part of the investigation to a close. I also want to thank the public who continue to support us and cooperate with us and continue to send in tips. And as the chief said, we want them to continue to be vigilant. We are concerned that there still may be other devices out there. We want to make sure that if people see suspicious packages or bags, they continue to call 911 and report that to the police so we can respond and deal with those packages. Thank you.
I'd like to say today's a great day for law enforcement. I'd like to thank the partners. There's an exceptional relationship here in Texas, and particularly in Austin. Chief Manley did an unbelievable job. The federal government brought the full resources of federal law enforcement here to solve this and to stop the injuring and the killing that was occurring. As the chief said, we're not done yet. It's a long day ahead. We are concerned that there may be other packages that are still out there. We need the public to remain vigilant, especially today as we go through this investigation. We will be here as long as it takes with our partners to figure out exactly what happened, why it happened, and how it happened. And we're committed to staying here with the Austin Police Department for as long as it takes to make sure we understand exactly what happened here. Just like to say, this is what law enforcement does every day in this country. The brave men and women of the Austin Police Department put their lives on the line tonight to stop this man from setting off bombs. As the chief said, one of their officers was hurt approaching the suspect as he detonated a second device. That's what law enforcement does every day in this country. They put their lives on the line to make sure that all of us are safe. And I'd like to commend the chief and his brave men and women that approached that subject's vehicle and stopped the subject from hurting anybody else. Thank you very much.
I understand that the investigation is continuing and that everyone still is urged to be vigilant and look for things that are out of place. But that said, gentlemen, on behalf of an incredibly thankful community, I just want to say thank you. And if you would pass that on to the men and women that you work with. Chief Manley, to you and to your officers, to this literally army of both neighboring cities and state and federal agencies. Thank you.
And I'd just like to close with just really a thought for the families in our community who lost loved ones or who had loved ones seriously hurt in these incidents. Our heart remains with you as you go through your healing process and your time of sorrow, and we stand by you and with you in your time of need. And with that, we'll open it up for questions.
Chief, was the suspect an Austin resident? There may be more than one suspects involved. Are you still looking for other individuals who may be connected to this one, or was this a lone wolf?
This investigation is still underway, so we cannot say that this was an individual acting on their own. That's why this investigation will continue through the day or days coming.
Are you still searching
Without naming the
FedEx
suspect, can you give us at least some biographical details? Rough age? Was he an Austin resident?
The individual involved in this incident was a 24-year-old white male, and we're not going to give out any information regarding his residence.
Any accomplices, sir?
Sorry?
Maybe you covered this, but any accomplices?
As I said, this investigation is ongoing. We want to make sure that we have confirmed that he either acted alone or if there were any accomplices that we identify them.
Does this individual date back to March 2nd?
We believe that this individual is responsible for all incidents that have taken place in Austin, starting on March 2nd, those that occurred since then as well.
Are you still searching the FedEx facility? Evacuated? So are you still searching the FedEx facilities?
There is an operation going on in Schertz, Texas, I believe, at that warehouse, again, wanting to make sure that that warehouse is safe, in addition to the fact that a bomb detonated in that warehouse, and it takes a while to process a post-blast investigation like that, so that's going to take a while for that one to be cleared.
Chief, do we have a why, Chief?
Sorry?
Was it the FedEx package that led you to this company?
There were several leads that led us to this person. We had a lot of evidence that came to us via video sources as well as witnesses.
Was he ever on your radar prior to this?
This was a subject that we had developed over the course of the investigation, but we became very interested in him over the past couple of days.
Do we have a why?
You know, that's the one thing we don't have right now is a motive behind this. We do not understand.
All right, and this is breaking news coming out of Austin, Texas right now, or near Austin, where the police chief from Austin, Texas, Chief Ryan Manley, is calling it the culmination of 3 very long weeks for that community. They have been dealing for weeks now with a suspected serial bomber. 4 explosions, 2 people died, multiple people injured over the last few weeks, all leading to what happened in the overnight hours there near Austin, Texas this morning. Late last night, night and early this morning. Police saying that the suspected serial bomber is dead. He detonated a device, killing himself and injuring one police officer. Another officer with the Austin Police Department did fire a weapon in the course of this altercation in the early morning hours there near Austin, Texas. But again, the serial bomber is dead.
Well, CBS 4's Nikki Batiste is live at that scene this morning with the latest. Nikki.
Hi. Well, of course, there is a huge sense of relief here in Austin now that the serial bomber is dead. As you heard, we're just learning he was 24 years old. Not long ago, behind me, police pursued him here in what we understand was a shootout where he ultimately killed himself. We had seen some surveillance video that came from a FedEx a few miles away showing a white male with what appeared to be white hair, possibly a wig, the man that terrorized this city for 19 days. And while there's a sense of relief, the authorities are cautioning everyone here should still be vigilant. It's very possible that this man shipped other packages in the last 24 hours that have not yet been delivered. Lauren and Bianca.
All right, Nikki, thanks so much. Of course, we are going to stay on top of this story. We were just hearing the very latest from the chief there, and I'm sure more developments will come throughout the day. So thank you so much for that live report. We'll check back in with you soon. And look for much more on the Austin serial bomber coming up next on CBS This Morning. It all gets underway at 7 o'clock only right here on CBS 4.